Hello there. I'm glad you're here. Tonight, we'll wander gently through 100 small truths about the world we live in. Not as a list to memorize, but as a quiet journey of noticing. Each fact is a window. A soft opening into how vast, intricate, and quietly beautiful this planet really is. There's no need to keep track. No need to remember everything. Just let each thought pass through. Like a leaf floating across still water. We begin with the world itself. The Earth is about 4.5 billion years old. That number is so large it almost loses meaning. Yet every mountain, every ocean, every grain of sand carries that deep memory. Our planet is not still. Even now, as you rest, the ground beneath you is moving. Slowly and silently. As continents drift a few centimeters each year. If you could watch from far above, you would see the Earth turning. Once every 24 hours. Carrying cities, forests, and oceans through space. As gently as a sleeping animal shifting in its dream. More than 70% of this world is covered in water. Most of it lies unseen. Dark and calm beneath the surface. Holding more life than we have ever fully mapped. The air you breathe has traveled. Some of it once brushed a mountain peak. Some of it may have passed through ancient trees. Or the lungs of people long gone. Every second. Our planet is struck by tiny particles from space. Microscopic visitors that settle quietly into soil and sea. Reminding us that Earth is not separate from the universe, but part of a continuous exchange. The deepest place on Earth. The Mariana Trench. Descends nearly 7 miles below the surface of the ocean. Down there, pressure reshapes matter. And life still finds a way to exist. Meanwhile, the highest point, Mount Everest, is still rising. Pushed upward by slow collisions beneath the crust. As if the planet itself is breathing upward. Beneath your feet. Miles below the surface. Heat flows from Earth's core. A quiet fire that has never gone out. Driving volcanoes. Warming oceans. And shaping the surface over ages. Every river on this planet, from the smallest stream to the longest current, is following gravity's patient call. Moving water back toward the sea. Again and again. Even deserts are alive. Sand dunes migrate. Seeds sleep. Tiny creatures wait beneath the surface. Timing their lives to rare rain. The Earth has changed its face many times. Oceans have vanished. Mountains have worn down to plains. Ice has covered continents. And still, life has adapted. Quietly, persistently. You are part of this living system. Not separate from it. Not outside it. A brief expression of the same processes. That lift mountains and shape coastlines. And as you rest here, the planet continues its slow, faithful motion. Holding you without effort. Carrying you through space. Without ever asking you to notice. In the next moments, we'll drift outward. Toward the skies above this world. And the quiet patterns that shape them. There is more wonder waiting just ahead. Every drop of water on Earth is ancient. The glass beside you. The rain on a window. The moisture in the air. All of it has cycled through clouds, rivers, oceans. And living beings for millions of years. Water never truly disappears. It only changes form. It rises as vapor. drifts as cloud, falls as rain, flows as river, rests as ocean, and begins again. A single cloud can weigh more than 1,000,000 tons. Yet it floats, soft and quiet, held in the sky by gentle currents of warm air, moving as lightly as thought. Rain is not random. Each droplet forms around a tiny particle, a speck of dust or salt, giving invisible structure to something that feels effortless. Snowflakes grow in silence. No two are exactly alike. Each one forms its own pattern. A brief, delicate geometry that melts almost as soon as it arrives. Lightning heats the air hotter than the surface of the sun, but only for a fraction of a second. A flash of extreme energy, followed by calm. As if the sky exhales. The wind you feel on your skin may have traveled across oceans, over mountains, through forests, carrying temperature, moisture, and memory from distant places. A rainbow is not an object. It is an alignment. A moment when light, water, and position briefly agree, creating color that exists only while you are there to see it. The blue of the sky comes from sunlight scattering through air. Shorter wavelengths spread wide, filling the dome above you with calm, endless color. Even on a still day, the atmosphere is moving. High above, jet streams flow like invisible rivers, shaping storms far away. The sound of rain slows the human nervous system. It mimics rhythms we recognize. Steady, natural, ancient. Long before clocks existed, weather taught time. Clouds told farmers when to plant. Winds guided sailors. Seasons shaped stories, rituals, and rest. And tonight, as you breathe, the sky continues its quiet work above you. Moisture drifting, air circulating, clouds forming and fading. All of it happening without effort, without urgency, without asking you to keep watch. In the next stretch, we'll drift closer to the living surface itself, to forests, animals, and the hidden networks beneath them. A softer world is waiting just ahead. A single tree can communicate with others around it. Beneath the soil, their roots connect through networks of fungi, sharing water, nutrients, and even warnings about danger. Forests are not collections of individuals. They are communities. Old trees support young ones. Strong roots stabilize weak ground. Shade becomes shelter. Some plants can hear when caterpillars chew their leaves. They release chemicals that summon wasps. Natural guardians that protect them. A silent call, answered without sound. Moss does not grow where the world is harsh. It thrives in calm places, where moisture lingers, and time moves slowly. Its softness is a sign of balance. Coral reefs are built by tiny animals, layer by layer, over centuries. Entire underwater cities, formed by creatures no larger than a grain of rice. Butterflies remember being caterpillars. Studies suggest their memories survive metamorphosis. As if identity carries forward, even when form changes completely. Bees can recognize human faces. Their minds are small, yet capable of learning patterns, remembering shapes, and navigating vast landscapes. using only the sun. Whales sing in patterns that travel for hundreds of miles. Their voices cross oceans. Slow and resonant. A form of communication shaped by water itself. Some seeds wait decades before sprouting. They remain dormant. Patient. Until light, temperature, and moisture align in quiet agreement. Octopuses can solve puzzles, open jars, and remember solutions. Their intelligence evolved far from land. In a world of pressure and shadow, trees grow rings not only for years, but for climate. Drought, abundance, fire, cold. Every season leaves a trace. A memory stored in wood. Even stones are active. They crack, shift, and erode. Mountains move. Just slowly enough to appear still. Nature is not rushing. It builds through repetition. Through waiting. Through gentle persistence. And as these patterns unfold around the world, they do not require attention. They simply continue. In the next stretch, we'll wander into the quiet inventions of humanity. The small ideas that reshaped daily life. Where ordinary things hold surprising stories. The first alarm clocks could only ring at one fixed time. People adjusted their lives around the clock, rather than the clock adapting to them. In ancient Rome, people used crushed mouse brains as toothpaste. They believed it strengthened teeth. A reminder of how knowledge slowly refines itself. The word salary comes from salt. Roman soldiers were sometimes paid in it, because salt preserved food and sustained life. Before mirrors were common, many people lived their entire lives without ever seeing their own face clearly. Identity existed mostly in reflection from others. The first libraries did not lend books. Texts were chained to desks, so knowledge would stay in place. Anchored. Waiting. Ink was once made from soot, tree resin, and wine. Writing carried the scent of fire and forest. The average person today encounters more information in a single day than someone in the 15th century might have experienced in a lifetime. Clocks once measured time by dripping water. Hours flowed instead of ticking. A softer way of sensing passing moments. In medieval towns, night watchmen walked the streets, calling out the time, so sleepers could know where they were. Inside the dark. The first maps were not meant to be accurate. They were symbolic. Mountains appeared larger than oceans. Sacred places bent the world around them. The earliest eyeglasses were made from quartz, polished slowly by hand, allowing aging eyes to continue reading. Even handwriting once defined class. Those who could write were seen as carriers of power, their letters shaping laws, faith, and memory. Every small invention quietly altered the rhythm of human life. And as these gentle changes accumulated, they shaped how we wake, work, and rest. In the next section, we'll drift into numbers, space, and time, where even the universe leaves subtle surprises. Cleopatra lived closer to the invention of the iPhone than to the building of the Great Pyramids. History folds in on itself, quietly reshaping how we imagine time. The year 536 is often called the worst year to be alive. A mysterious fog dimmed the sun for months, cooling the world, fading crops, softening entire civilizations. There are trees alive today that began growing before the Roman Empire existed. They have watched borders rise, languages shift, and stars return. Again and again. In medieval Europe, clocks did not agree. Each town kept its own time, set by the sun. Travelers crossed minutes without knowing. The word moment once meant a medieval unit of time. Exactly 90 seconds. Even briefness had a structure. Paper is older than glass windows. People learned to preserve thought before they learned to seal warmth. Some ancient calendars had no weeks. Days flowed without grouping. A long, unbroken river. There are still caves with human handprints, older than written language. Someone paused, pressed their palm to stone, and said, "I was here." The average cloud weighs over 1,000,000 tons. Even the sky carries gravity. Every 2 minutes, humans take more photographs than were taken. In the entire 19th century, the universe itself is aging. Stars burn slowly. Galaxies drift apart. And time keeps expanding. Without urgency. Without end. And through all of it, you remain here. A brief, gentle witness. Resting inside a much larger story. In the next section, we'll explore quiet surprises, hidden in ordinary places. There is a town in Norway where the sun does not rise for more than 2 months each year. Night becomes a season, soft and continuous. Venice is built on millions of wooden pillars. They rest beneath water, slowly mineralizing, becoming stone through time. Paris has more dogs than children. Companionship has found a quiet balance there. In Japan, there are villages with more scarecrows than people. Cloth figures stand patiently, watching empty roads. There is a street in London that has existed for over 2,000 years. Feet have passed there since the Roman era. One life after another. Some cities are sinking, others rising. The earth reshapes its homes without asking. There are places in Antarctica where no rain has fallen for over 2 million years. Silence rests there, unchanged. In Barcelona, nearly every block is shaped as an octagon. Corners softened for light and air. There are towns that move a few centimeters each year as the ground shifts beneath them. Even cities drift. The Great Wall of China is not a single wall, but thousands of paths woven through mountains. In New York, there is a single tree, older than the country itself. It continues, quietly. Every night, millions of lights turn on together, forming glowing maps, visible from space. And still, beneath every pattern, life moves slowly. One step, one breath at a time. Octopuses have 3 hearts and blue blood. 2 hearts rest when they swim, which is why they prefer to drift. A single teaspoon of honey is the lifetime work of 12 bees. Sweetness is patient. Elephants recognize themselves in mirrors. They pause, as if gently wondering. Some whales sing songs that last for hours. Entire oceans remember their voices. A dragonfly lives underwater for years before it ever flies. Most of its life is preparation for air. There are ants that farm fungus and tend aphids like cattle. Tiny civilizations exist beneath your feet. A sloth's fur grows algae. Green becomes camouflage, turning stillness into shelter. Owls can rotate their heads nearly all the way around. They watch the world without moving their bodies. Butterflies taste with their feet. Every landing is a question. Some turtles breathe through their skin while sleeping underwater. Even rest finds a way. There are jellyfish that can reverse their age, returning to youth after adulthood. The unseen world is alive, moving softly beside us, never asking to be noticed, only continuing. There are places on earth where stones slide slowly across dry lake beds, leaving long trails behind them. No one sees them move. They travel only when no one is watching. In Japan, there are forests where the snow bends tree branches into soft white arches, as if winter were building cathedrals. There are caves filled with crystals, taller than houses, growing in silent darkness for hundreds of thousands of years. Some deserts bloom only once every decade, transforming emptiness into color for a single season. There are rivers beneath the ocean where saltwater flows like currents through the seafloor, with waves and shores of their own. In certain valleys, the wind hums through rock formations and creates music. The land sings to itself. There are places where night lasts for months, and others where the sun never truly sets. Lightning sometimes strikes upward from the ground toward the sky, as if the earth were reaching back. There are lakes that glow at night with living light, each ripple turning blue, as though stars had fallen into water. And far above us, there are storms on other planets, larger than our entire world, turning endlessly, patiently, without ever knowing our names. Some mountains are still rising, even now, lifting themselves by the quiet pressure of moving continents. The oldest living trees on Earth were already standing before the pyramids were built, before history learned to write. Every night, your body becomes slightly taller as gravity releases its hold, and your spine gently expands. There are stars in the sky whose light began its journey before humans ever existed, arriving only now to meet your eyes. Every breath you take contains atoms that once moved through oceans, through forests, through ancient creatures, through distant storms. And in this moment, as the world continues its slow turning, as rivers flow, as stars drift, as time keeps its gentle pace, you are here, part of it all. Resting inside the same universe. That has always been quietly unfolding. There is nothing you need to hold. The world is already carrying you. Thank you for drifting through these quiet facts with me. If even one of them made the world feel a little softer, a little wider, or a little more gentle, then this time has done its work. There are countless wonders still moving quietly around you. In the sky, in the earth, and in the spaces between moments. For now, there is nothing left to remember. Nothing left to follow. Only rest. Let the world continue on its own. And let yourself fade gently with it.